Hello and welcome.
Damn it, Pete.
There we go. Hello and welcome to day 28 of the extended Genesis of Androzani Advent Calendar. But if you're watching this publicly, it won't be on the Advent Calendar because it'll be next year in 2020 when we're all exploded and dead.
Wow, future.
But yes, we are here. We are here, continuing this extended calendar with Jake, which I'm sure is great because you're getting some consecutive action, which is unlike anything you've seen before. But yeah, if you're watching this on Patreon, you'll be getting a couple more videos till the end of the year. So it'll be, I think it's 29, 30, 31, and that'll be the end of the extended calendar. Whereas if you're watching this just on YouTube, week by week, unless of course by this time Copper has deleted all of us.
True.
Yes.
That's an issue.
Let me just know, let all of you know this is not made for kids.
No.
No.
I
Definitely.
will swear.
Yeah. You'll whip your dick out if you have to.
I won't.
You won't?
No.
No. No. Anyway, what's the best thing about living in Switzerland?
I don't know. I can't. I won't be able to figure that one out.
You're not?
What is it?
Well, I don't know, but the flag is a big plus.
That's a good one.
Okay, so last time we watched Love and Monsters, the infamous episode featuring the Absorber off
And
himself.
I liked it.
And you liked it, and I liked it, and Adam...
we kind of swayed his opinion.
Adam's mildly reappraised it, I think.
Yeah.
Because the first time we started recording these, the very first time he came, which was, I think, was the World War III and Dalek one, he said he'd give it max a 5 if he was being generous.
What did he say? He said 6.
6.5.
Yeah, we
Same
did
as you.
6.5, yeah.
So I think over the years I've managed to talk him into not hating it.
Did you turn out a 10 it?
9.
9, yeah.
It's not a 10.
No.
It's not a 10. That'd be ridiculous. But yeah, we had Love and Monsters, which is a very infamous episode, known as being one of the worst ever, and we all gave it technically speaking, a positive score.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's our channel in a nutshell. But this time, what are we going to be watching, Jake? Do you remember what it's called?
Fear Her.
Why is it called Fear Her?
I don't know. You guys talk shit about Fear Her or something for a while. Did you? I don't know. Don't remember.
No. So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I really shouldn't have told you this. God, I regret it now. But the reason I brought up the name was because of the cocaine meter.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
It's the fourth degree, and I shouldn't have said that. I should have waited till the end.
Yeah.
And then said...
Should have waited till Fear Her. The end of Fear Her.
I should have waited.
And be like, this is a new Richter.
I should have waited. But we can't change time now. We could, but it would create a paradox.
You could have just figured that out a little bit later and then stopped saying Fear Her. I would have forgotten.
Well, the thing is, what I should have done is I shouldn't have told you the title of this episode until we'd done the cocaine meter.
You could have also just not reminded me right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing.
We can't go back now.
Exactly. And the main reason why I shouldn't have told you is that what if you're disappointed? What if it's not the way I say it is? What if it's just...
Well, you've potentially set yourself up for failure.
I have, just like the 2 sugars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what do you... Before going into this episode, what are you expecting? What are we wanting?
Oh, well, I'm expecting some crazy shit now.
Are you?
Well,
Why is that?
Because he's going to be nuts, isn't it?
Oh. Damn. What if you're disappointed?
Well, it's too bad.
Oh, well. 0 out of 10 if you're disappointed.
Probably.
But apart from that, just... What are you expecting? What are you wanting?
What did I say last week? Can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember. I remember after Satan Pit you said more dark shit. Then you got Love and Monsters, which wasn't dark, but you still liked it.
Yeah, that was kind of dark. It's a little bit dark.
Yeah. I think you was... I'm not 100% sure on this, because I might be wrong, but this is actually a general thing you tend to say as well. But what you might have said, I'm just taking a guess, you might have said is that you want to see an episode with the Doctor again, because obviously Love and Monsters was Dr. Light.
Yeah.
So I assume that's probably what you want. But yeah, it'd be very interesting. Anything else you want to say before we start?
Nah, let's watch the episode.
Okay, we shall begin for here.
London 20. This is the Olympics.
It's in the future, but it's also in the past. Because this was made in 2006.
Oh.
But it's in the past for us now.
Did they know that the Olympics was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's the futuristic car. Jay McKillen. Why is that name familiar?
I don't know.
Oh, that's Jay.
What if she got sent back in time by a weeping angel and now she's old?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Do you recognise this street?
It's Coronation Street?
No.
No.
It's the same street from the Idiot's Lantern, but in the future.
Someone's in the window.
But I don't think old fucking what's-his-face is living there anymore.
Yeah.
Is this the modern version? This guy playing with his kids? Peacefully, not abusing them? I am talking!
They're making this sweet, innocent girl very creepy.
I love that shirt, like the half Union Jack.
Yeah. Wow.
Drawing.
The technological advancements
Yes.
of 2012.
It's a bit weird thinking about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
David Tennant.
What was the best thing that happened in 2012? Not much.
Well, in general, or something that, like, personally for me?
No, I think in general. Like,
Okay.
is there a game that came out?
Oh, Black Ops 2 came out, I think? Yeah, Black Ops 2 came out that year. Parked it the wrong way round. Oh, no tie this time. That's such a weird reference because it's in the past.
Yeah.
It's like, does Shane Ward have greatest hits now? I don't know.
I don't even know who Shane Ward is.
I'd imagine he was some upstart like when this came out.
Yeah. What they've been up to in that TARDIS?
You can tell he's the cocaine's starting to settle.
Yeah.
He even isn't even wearing a tie. Like look at him.
He's one button down as well.
Very sexy.
Why is Jay McKillen familiar?
I don't know.
You do know.
I don't know. I'm serious.
I can't Google it.
Have you two sugared me?
Dale Hicks. Maybe these are just very familiar names.
It's probably some characters that Russell T read in a book or something. Even though he didn't write this. Maybe it was Matthew Graham who read them.
Yeah. Look at that coat.
He looks like he's not big enough for this job. We're all right, love.
What's your game? Steaks and others?
Oh, it looks pretty cold, doesn't it?
Don't we start with him? There's been all sorts like him
Oh.
in this street, day and night.
It's up for the Olympics. It's taken an awful long time.
What the hell?
I'm of the opinion that all we've got to do.
Even evil.
Oh no, you just believe in tarmackers with loads of kidnapped kiddies in there. That's what she's saying. Fingers on lips.
Fingers on lips. Come on, Rose. Play along.
In the last 6 days, when else will
Put your fucking fingers on your lips. Oh shit, she's gonna draw them.
care who you are.
Oh dear.
Whoa, there it goes again. Look at the hairs on the back of my man and hair.
Fucking hell.
Did he improv in this episode?
I think so. Mate. Oh, not the kitty.
No.
Not the kitty.
The cat is so innocent.
Sometimes he's up my
What if you're just really shit at drawing and you can't get it right?
Yeah. Everyone looks at London anyway. It's like,
Chloe, I'm busy.
it's funny that them, like, this would actually happen. Like, people would make would have made a big deal about.
I like
them
how they
looking
say
at the city.
look at the TV and it's a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's because it's the future.
it's the 7 years in the past for us.
I'm drawing.
But then again, how often do you look at the TV?
Just dreamed.
And now,
Yeah, this is probably my first time.
I'm busy.
And
since last.
I need to kill you.
well, actually no, I do watch it on the TV, but I use a cast.
Cooped up in here.
So technically, I'm not really watching TV. I'm just using the TV as a big monitor.
But that's what companies do. Anyway,
Yeah, I do this.
did you get that?
What?
Rose is like, "Oh, you beautiful boy." She's talking to the cat, and the doctor's like, "Oh."
Once been threatened by one.
Thought she was talking about him.
David Denham.
That shirt's very yellow. Looks like it's from
The
Zara.
cat's gone.
Looks like it's from Zara.
Yeah.
Doctor,
It's everywhere. It's all through the stream.
See, keep him peeled, Lewis.
give you. You're lucky. We're all together. You don't know what
Oh, child acting.
if you did.
It's not her fault, but you know.
Yeah.
You know.
No!
No! Fucking hell. See, this is how you do Dutch angles. You do it sparingly. You don't do it every fucking shot.
Yeah.
I am talking!
Jesus Christ.
That's what it was like, eh? That's why you hated that episode of East Lantern. Fucking Dutch angles every shot.
Yeah. What the fuck?
It is. Graphite.
It's a scribble monster.
It was an HP pencil.
I was attacked by.
Conducting.
I think I am.
Copper's inch.
Permission to follow up, Sarge.
I feel like I'm being seduced by his shirt.
She looks very alien. Fuck that. No, like, I can't say that.
This is Rose.
You can't say that, Jake.
I don't mean it that way. I just mean like
Premiere Pro saves lives.
I mean like she just looks like,
Why do you want to see Chloe?
you know, like the like Egyptian drawings of like aliens and shit. Kind of like that.
Yeah, sorry.
Fucking racist.
Sometimes you say something and you don't realize what you're saying until you say it.
Yeah.
She stays
Do you reckon they light that with torch wood?
Try talking to her.
Ha!
Well, let's go say hi.
I should check on her first. She might be asleep.
Why are you afraid of her, Trish? I'm sure she is.
She's never been in trouble at school.
It's the fucking eyes. It's the eyes.
She's a beast.
Why is he so excited? Oh, sneak into a child's bedroom. That's pretty edgy.
And like I said, she's.
Look at the Venetian blinds.
You've been drawing, though.
Very film noir.
Stick man about mine, though. Can do this, though. You do that.
I'm busy.
What?
Oh, you don't be a spoil sport. What's the big project?
What if you thought it was going to be Narnia? You saw that.
What are you making up? You have, and you see something you can't possibly explain, you dismiss it, right? Don't do, because who's going to believe the things you see out of the corner of your eye? No one. Except me.
She's there alone. She's drawn.
Maybe drawings can become living things.
Why has this become the office?
So his real dad is dead, but not the one who visits her in the night.
Yeah, it's very like.
Yeah.
That's the dad she's drawn. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
This is a pretty low budget one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you can't tell that, then you must not know shit all about the film industry. There we go. You can do it. It's low budget but high cocaine.
Yeah. Big acting. Small money.
I'm going to chew the scenery. That's basically what he's doing.
Who are you?
What have you done to my little girl? Doctor, what is it?
Speaking to you.
She was like me. I love. She is me.
It's a flying dandelion jellyfish. Something like that.
You wanted to be with her because she was around like you.
Forbidden dandelion.
You can't look at what? Well, she's not.
Fuck, she's having a seizure.
There's just some person, some like extra or some crew member sitting in there just with like a red flashlight.
That's Doctor Who for you. I mean, if it was classic Who, that's literally what it would be.
Yeah.
Literally. Huh. That screen has been stretched. It's not full. It's like a 4x3, but it's been stretched to a 16 by 9. I can tell because the people look so wide.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
that's fucked up. Oh.
So you don't have kids?
I was a dad once.
What did she say?
I think we're there. Fear, loneliness, everybody wants that. Terrible act ever committed to inspire them.
Then you got a point. This seems very improvised. isn't
Yeah.
it? It's very natural between them.
Oh, the TARDIS is gonna disappear.
So these pods, they travel from some sun.
Hello.
Yeah? So it's not all about love.
Good day, Governor.
It needs more hair.
Not just need him.
Oh, Rose is all alone now.
And she's without her magic plot device that the Doctor made.
Yeah.
Bring him back now. No. That's what you've just done.
Blended to a secret council recipe.
This guy's had a rough day. RuneScape.
It's a spaceship, not a council spaceship, I'm afraid.
Uh-oh. Wait, if you drew the stadium, would they all just fall and splat?
Yeah, that'd be gnarly.
Oh. She's more kind than that.
Yeah. Not you too, Bob.
Should you get out, like, you know how, like, girls at school used to have that massive black book of pens and pencils? And, like, paintbrushes?
Just move. And that one.
It's a beacon of love.
What if she ran out of pen? I'm going to warehouse stationery.
Pardon me.
Sorry, love, you're not getting here. It's the Olympics. She has to draw, like, the plastic island in the Pacific Ocean. That would scare me if I was holding that. Oh dear.
Alright.
There goes the flower. Oh dear.
Oh god.
You hate happiness, don't you?
That was terrible. Like, that was terrible.
It's not over yet. Jesus, children everywhere.
Oh,
Make,
Jane.
make my skin crawl.
Doctor, where are you?
Hello. Is that what your stepdad sounded like?
My stepdad didn't sound like fucking.
Your stepdad didn't take time to get down the stairs.
What's the motherfucking Sesame Street character in the bin?
Shit. Fucking hell, what's his name? I can't remember.
That's what he sounds like.
Now you said your stepdad was more like the one from Eddie's Lantern.
Nah, he's all good.
I think you're exaggerating.
Yeah.
He's gonna hold his hand.
But your mum was like Jackie Tyler,
Sort of.
except not as British.
Just look at this utterly incredible scenes of the Olympics.
He sounds
Actually
Welsh. He
incredible
sounds Welsh. He's
scenes.
like, look at this, absolutely incredible. They reappeared out of nowhere. Hello. Everyone wanted him to carry the torch at the 2012 Olympics, but it didn't happen.
Why didn't it happen?
I don't know. Should have happened.
Should have happened. 100%.
Look at all that cocaine.
It's just on a random stage as well.
The biggest of snorts.
That's where all the money went.
Now, what's the one thing the doctor said he wanted at the start of the episode?
Can't remember.
Cake?
Oh yeah, with the ball bearings.
Cake with ball bearings on!
Yeah, why the fuck do we ever make edible metal balls?
I don't know.
It's just dumb, isn't it?
But the doctor likes it.
Papua New Guinea supplied everyone in the shop.
Really? You're joking, aren't you?
Pap-
Doctor.
Is Papua New Guinea even in the Olympic Games?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure like their national sport.
What if one of the fireworks hit the spaceship?
Oh,
It's just like,
or like how fucking torch would hit the cigarette ship.
Something in the air. It's uncanny. A storm's approaching.
a storm's approaching.
All right, Jack,
Yes.
fear her. Initial
Yes.
thoughts.
My initial thoughts. It was funny, and I think it was meant to be funny as well. Like they intended it to be funny. I reckon it was one of those ones where they went in with a script that was meant to be serious, and then they realized how, like, whilst they're shooting it, how not well it's working, and then just decided to improv, and made it into a comedy.
I wish I could say that's true because that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, but I think it was.
I mean, I'll get onto the trivia obviously.
Yeah,
But
I think it was all right. Yeah, I was entertained. Yeah.
Before I give my thoughts, I think I'm going to jump straight ahead to the reception because I think it needs to be said first.
Okay.
So, there was a poll. I've told you about the Doctor Who magazine poll, right? It was in 2013 or 14. I think it was 14 because it was every episode from like the start to 2013 because it was like the 50-year poll. And there's a place online where you can search it up, like see all the different categories. You can see all stories or just New Who stories, or
Yeah.
there's rankings for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
For the poll that was for just the new series, Fear Her was last.
For like, as in like episode rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a hated episode.
Really?
Yeah, this is like It's like one of the most hated episodes of Doctor Who ever produced. In fact, on the poll, that's all the stories, including Classic Who as well. It's like second to last.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a very, very... And this episode, I reckon, because I think when Love and Monsters first broadcast, there was like the initial shock of, what the fuck is that? What is that big green thing? But I think over time, there's obviously been cultish cunts like me and you that like it.
Yeah.
But with Fear Her...
No one's ever liked it.
Well, there are some, but this is the way I see it personally. I don't think everyone hates this episode, but no one really loves it.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so low down, because it's
forgettable.
It's forgettable. It's low budget.
Yeah.
It's got child acting in it. It's got bad color grading. It's got a kind of humor that only some people enjoy.
Yeah.
It's very... And, it's got, like, singing in it. It's got a child's drawings. It's very...
It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it is. And for a lot of people, I'm sure most people watching, because I've seen comments, would say it is a disaster.
Yeah.
But, you know what? After rewatching it today, I think I can safely say I don't hate it at all. Like, I think it's just...
It wasn't hard to watch. It was
it's a bit boring during the middle bit.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of exposition and the shots aren't particularly interesting.
Yeah.
You see it like kind of looks like The Office. But honestly, for me, what makes this not terrible for me is the fact that we found it quite funny, especially the tarmac guy.
Yeah.
But I actually think that David Tennant and Billy Piper are really good in it.
Yeah, definitely.
They are the thing.
They carried the episode.
They carried the episode.
Yeah.
And on top of that, one thing that I think the most underrated aspect of this episode for me is the concept, the drawings.
Yeah.
Like, I actually think that's quite interesting. Obviously, it's a concept that works. It seems like it's predominantly aimed for children, which makes sense.
Yeah.
This is very much a children-directed episode, because I know that the majority of people that do like this episode are children. I remember when I was 10, people at school would always say this is quite a scary episode, because people found looking at this and seeing children being sucked into a drawing quite scary, because they are children. But if you're like over the age of 13, like, most people really, really don't like this one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit tacky. It was very tacky.
In fact, there was on the advent calendar last year, Adam put this in his bottom 10, because we did a top 10 worst stories, and he put this in his bottom 10. So yeah, this is a very, very infamous one, but I kind of see why, but I don't really agree, because there's parts I enjoy, especially like, I feel like the front end, when the Doctor's still in it, it's actually quite fun to watch.
Yeah. I think it's more like, you enjoy it because it's made you laugh, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's still, like, arguably you're still enjoying it, but like, if you think about it in the grander scheme of things, it's like, you're only just laughing at this character being dumb, or you're just laughing at this.
Or the Scrabble monster.
Yeah, you're just laughing at a stupid thing that's meant to make you laugh. It's sort of like, it doesn't really serve any justice to the story. Like, it doesn't. Overall, and you could just watch that part of the episode and be like, oh yeah, that's all good. But
I think for me,
you didn't have to watch it in context.
There's like a few moments, but for me, it's the moment when. The fact that this never happened before on the show before this point.
Yeah.
The Doctor parks the TARDIS and opens the door
that
against
was
the
funny as
wall.
fuck.
Then there's also...
But that's also a moment where it's like, you can just take that out of the episode and watch it and laugh at that and be like, I'm moving on.
I actually think this is a word I should use. This is a very meme-worthy episode. It's very meme-worthy.
It's very meme-worthy.
Yeah, it's like when... Because I've recently been reviewing all the Star Wars films.
Yeah.
And when I went to watch Attack of the Clones, which is a particularly disliked film, I was like, there's a lot of it where I'm like, oh, this isn't particularly good, but then there's little moments in there that are so funny.
Yeah.
Like,
and you can just pull that out and be like, and you can...
Like, everyone uses the gif of Palpatine saying, I love democracy, because
Yeah.
it's so funny. And then, you get like, there's a bunch of those. But I genuinely think this is a very meme-worthy episode, and it doesn't... I feel like the reason why maybe you and I don't hate it as much as others is because we don't expect much from it. It's not meant to be made to think. I mean, it's a bit shit. But
I'm happy that I get to like laugh at something. It's like, I'm all good as long as there's one redeeming thing about the episode. I think it's fine.
Yeah, and I know I'm kind of spoiling the recap because I wanted to hold this off, but I think just to give a little bit of defense to Fear Her a little bit, I'm going to compare it to Idiot's Lantern. And the reason why I feel like something like Idiot's Lantern's more damaging is because it actually damages the characters. Like, you know, the Doctor and Rose were actually properly... Their characters felt like they were...
There was a fuck up on every single end on that.
Yeah.
There was like, the camera work was shit, the editing sucked, the fucking story was ass, the acting was pretty
and the memes weren't like endearing, they were very forced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The fucking council, the council worker, and he's like, that's a council pickaxe from a council van.
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
It's fucking cracker.
Whereas you get something like Idiot's Lantern when it's like, some kind of portable.
You know what I reckon it is? I reckon Idiot's Lantern like kept to the script, and that was probably
as we said, this felt very improvised.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like that council
this
was
felt
probably
like
kind of improvised.
This felt like Doctor Who Series 2, The Office, but mixed with like a children's fantasy.
Have you seen like Loiter Squad, or like there's some series on YouTube where this reminds me, where it's like skits, where it's like a skit that's been scripted and stuff like that, but they go to film the skit and they just let the actors do sort of whatever they want in the skit. Like they follow the outline, but they just do whatever. Yeah. It just feels like that, you know, fuck, what's that Kiwi show with that dude from the Hellas ad?
Oh, God. Get some purplos. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. We should...
But just to give my sort of initial thoughts after the whole reception thing, basically, because my mind was set so low going into this, I actually would say, even though it's still not particularly good, I was pleasantly surprised on this viewing.
Yeah.
Like, my thoughts on this episode have actually gone up since my last viewing. Because the last time I watched this was with Anthony, Daniel, and PJ, and they all thought it was absolutely terrible. They hated this. Yeah. Mainly because child acting and a bunch of other reasons.
Oh, I cringed at a lot of this, but you know.
Oh yeah, but we'll get to the specifics. Yeah. So, most importantly, does this live up to the cocaine meter that I've set for the Doctor?
Not really.
You don't think?
He kind of overhyped it. I mean, he was definitely way more animated in some things, in some scenes.
So the reason why I did this,
you're comparing this to, you're saying this is more than Scarface.
Yes, and the reason why I did this is because the last time I watched the cocaine meter came from the last viewing I had of this episode.
Right.
And the reason why is that whilst he's not like jumping around like he is in Tooth and Claw or Idiot's Lantern, but the fact that he can stand so still like this in the middle of this completely dull kitchen or bedroom or street.
Yeah.
He's literally not even moving his arms, and his eyes are like on fire. They're like looking at the camera like, yes, this girl's doing these drawings, yes, Rose, can you get me that, yes? And it's so like, it's
shit like the marmalade thing as well.
Oh,
like that, like, that's obviously just some dumb gag that they were like about to roll, and then
these cupcakes that have these ball bearings on them. Why would they create anyone else in the universe to make ball bearing cupcakes?
I think it kind of did. I just feel
now what I'm saying now. I need to just to clarify, because I do think it's Fear Her, but Fear Her on the scale does not necessarily mean like in terms of an upward gradual incline. It's not like he's more like insanely all over the place than a Scarface episode is. But what it is it's like a different, complete separate category.
Right.
So Scarface is actually the maximum of his like usual cocaine high, but this episode is so unique in the sense that he is on cocaine, but he's contained within his body.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you mean.
So it's you've kind of been subverted. It's not really what I said. It's not him being absolutely on fire. It's just the fact that you can see that under this completely restricted performance, David Tennant's eyes are fucking going insane.
Yeah.
And you notice there was that shot when I can't remember who was talking to him, but like he was looking away from them. He was like Like almost like he couldn't even concentrate. But yeah, no, whilst the Doctor's character certainly wasn't particularly deep, he was very funny. I thought.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the characters in this were very deep at any points.
Definitely not. I mean, there was
The
one
deepest
scene.
character was Chloe and her mom, and that was
There was
like,
one scene. There was one scene though when the Doctor said, "I was a dad once."
oh, true, yeah, that's a little bit. That's like
Yeah.
and then Rose's reaction. That was actually a pretty good scene. That was like,
I really like a scene like that because what it does is it makes her realize that how old he really is.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the trick with this Doctor is that you're constantly distracted by his appearance, thinking
Yeah.
he's this young, dashing gentleman, but really he's not. He's actually lived for 900 years, so there's so much more than what he shows,
yeah,
and that's a line that I really like. And also just gives you a bit of lore, you know,
yeah.
some stuff you don't know.
We love a bit of lore.
Yeah. So in an episode like this, like Fear Her, which is like often said it's like the most skippable episode ever, has some bit of lore in it for
Yeah.
you to dig into.
Dig your fucking teeth into that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like
I feel like the Doctor wasn't like, yeah, every character was sort of surface level this episode,
Yeah.
and the Doctor was definitely pretty. It was more like a reactive episode where it's like something happens and you just see reactions.
Yeah.
And then something happens, you just see reactions.
well, I kind of like the fact that we take a break from all the heavy shit.
Yeah, I agree.
You just get like this is what the
But
Doctor
then again,
wrote.
Love Monsters was sort of a break.
That's true. but just thinking about this episode,
yeah,
I kind of like how it's like this is what the Doctor knows get up to in between all those episodes we see.
yeah. Before like we go see fucking Satan again. or
Yeah,
some
exactly.
shit.
And I don't know, there's something interesting about that. It's just a bit different.
Yeah,
I like that kind of variety, even though obviously the execution of this episode has its problems. I like the fact that we get an episode like this where it's a bit like, whoa. But you could definitely argue that the fact that this comes right after Love and Monsters might be a bit like, okay, we don't need 2 episodes like
Yeah.
this. And we also had Idiot's Lantern, which was like this as well.
you could have probably put this before Love and Monsters, maybe.
I really don't know.
I don't know actually. I think having
I will get on to, because I have more thoughts, but I have to get into the trivia first,
Okay.
because I have to explain some things.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought the Doctor was really entertaining, and the torch scene is iconic. Like, everyone remembers the torch scene.
Yeah, I think I've even seen that on YouTube
Yeah.
at some point in my life.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I like the whole thing of him getting trapped in the drawing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then drawing the Olympic torch.
Yeah. But there's some proper memes of like...
It is pretty funny how he made the plot device and then they break the plot
Yeah,
device.
exactly. Even though it ended up didn't need it anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also then, speaking of memes, the fingers on the lips, that was hilarious.
Oh, that was funny.
That was hilarious. Now, Rose Tyler, I thought she was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think
I honestly think she might be the best part of this episode.
nah.
I mean, she's not the funniest, but I thought in terms of like, because
My
obviously
favorite part of the episode was the council worker.
Oh well, I mean that's like saying your favorite part of the Unquiet Dead's Mr. Sneed, though. But
it is.
Mr. Sneed.
We'll get onto the council worker, but I thought that like when the Doctor was trapped in the drawing, like because obviously she took like primary role, I
Yeah.
thought she did fine. Obviously the story around it was a bit batshit.
It gets you know what when that happens though, like when the Doctor disappears and you're like, oh shit, I'm just trapped with Rose now, and you kind of get that feeling where it's like, oh, is this gonna go bad? Like, is this where the episode takes a turn? At least that's how I felt because I hadn't seen it. So it's kind of like a weird feeling of like, oh, I kind of didn't want the Doctor to go away, but then yeah, she definitely it definitely was like carried the weight of what
Yeah.
was going on. Made it interesting as well. It felt less like everyone's just relying on the Doctor to do something, and more like, oh well, now Rose knows what she's doing as well, so she can fucking do it too.
And obviously we'll get onto like what actually happened within the story because it's a little bit insane, but I don't know. It's just nice again for a change. She's the one that does the saving, I suppose.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
You know. I think actually probably now's a good time to start bringing this up. So, this episode and Idiot's Lantern have a lot of parallels. Not only are they set in the exact same street, but in the future. So, Idiot's Lantern's in the past, this is in the future technically because it came out in 2006. But if you remember in Idiot's Lantern, Rose got trapped inside the TV.
Yeah.
In this, the Doctor got trapped inside the drawing.
Yeah.
And they're both low budget.
Did they just like fucking redo the script?
So,
I don't think so.
I'm going to jump ahead to the trivia for this.
Yeah.
Because I want to say it now. There was an episode for this series that was meant to be in this slot, written by Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
But he got very ill. I believe it was depression. And he had to pull out.
Yeah.
So at the very last second, they had to pull in Matthew Graham to write this.
Right. And he just wrote the same thing.
So basically, they just had the exact same structure as Idiot's Lantern, but different, slightly different plot.
Yeah.
Matthew Graham wanted to, and also Russell, I think he said he wanted to have one directed at children. So Matthew Graham came up with this concept of the drawings.
Yeah.
And that's what it's meant to be. That's why it's surface level. It's rushed. It's low budget. It's not very popular unless you're a child. It's not even meant to. This wasn't even meant to air.
Right.
It's a bit like Boomtown, but it's even more rushed.
Yeah.
It's like this is literally at the last second this was written. So, whilst that doesn't justify its quality or anything, I do understand why it is the way it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Yeah, obviously.
It's last minute.
It was last minute. It wasn't even meant to air. But having said that, Idiot's Lantern was meant to air. Yet I feel like this is far more endearing.
Yeah. I think the reason is because, again, as we've said, improvisation, and like the Idiot's Lantern probably followed the script more, and it probably just shows how weak the script is, and like the fact that if you have a half script and you need the actors to fill it in, they're probably going to do a better job than a shitty script.
Yeah, well, I think I went into in the review about how just over the top Mark Gatiss got with that one, where he wanted to make it feel like a 1950s cartoon, but it just didn't fit the real life setting.
Yeah.
And it just a lot of problems. It was rough, but yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I would have loved to seen a Stephen Fry episode, but I suppose I can understand obviously you need to fill the slot with something.
Yeah.
And, that's what they did.
Yeah.
That's why this episode is the way it is.
Yeah.
But on the fly, they managed to come up with some pretty hilarious stuff, don't you think?
I think so. It's cool that they incorporated the Olympics into it as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's weird watching it now, because obviously we're in 2019, it's way past 2012. It's just like when we watched Dalek as well, because Dalek was set in 2012.
2012, the world was meant to end. Remember that?
Yeah, and Joseph Kony happened as well.
Oh, yeah. And that shitty movie with John Cusack came out.
That's right. Had fake Barack Obama in it. Avengers came out that year.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. And
that was like we're on a tangent, but it is pretty crazy thinking about like way back when they made that first Avengers, like they'd been planning this, like slowly like formulating this, like crafting this web and this story and this universe, and then Avengers hits, and it's just like there's just now this insanely not really ever done before like net of movies.
Not to the same degree, because like for example you have something like X-Men, but that's all in one film.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was so much bigger than that.
Yeah. Anyway, we're off topic.
Go check out my review of the Avengers.
Yeah, I'm not in it. I'm in Game of Thrones.
I believe Anthony and Callum were in that one.
In Game of Thrones, you can check me out. I've got 5.5 hours of my voice.
So yeah, basically, I just to sum up, I think the Doctor and Rose were actually very funny and entertaining and enjoyable, and they carried the story.
I think every single character in this was entertaining except for Trish. Trish was fucking annoying.
Well, before we get to Trish, we have to talk about Chloe Webber herself.
Yeah. And do we talk about Chloe Webber as like the kid or like the thing as well? What was it called again?
Oh yeah, the
Flower?
dandelion thing.
We'll just call it a flower.
Yeah, so it's obvious that she's not a very good child actor. I don't blame her, but
That's a pretty hard fucking thing to act.
it is.
You know, like
it is. And actually, at points, I think she was actually quite well directed at points because she was basically told to be monotone, which is very easy for children to do, just whisper and be monotone.
Yeah.
I feel like there are points where it actually worked.
Yeah.
Like when she's like, "Don't touch me, mum."
Yeah.
I found that quite.
She just wasn't creepy. It was.
Nah, she wasn't.
It was just kind of like, yeah.
I think again, like this is one of those things of this is something that children
Yeah.
would find scary,
as a
but not
kid,
us.
As a kid, you find it creepy. As
Yeah.
us, you just sort of like brush over it and just be like, well, I can just swat that child away in times of need.
Yeah. So I love the concept of the drawings.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's very generic, isn't it? It's just sort of
Yeah.
the dandelion was
It's like there's so many fucking movies that has just like some haunted kid that whispers shit and has like hair over one of her eyes or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's so far. I don't know. It's
yeah.
and every single time it just sucks. Like I don't think it's ever been done well.
Yeah, I think for me the weakest part of this episode is the whole father thing. I think that's a massive flop. It just doesn't need to be in it, and when it is in it, it feels
Yeah, and the voice was just stupid.
Yeah, and then the fact that like
It was kind of. I mean, as like the whole idea was kind of cool. Was like. But then again, like, why would your mother be so separated from you if your father was abusive, but your father's gone now, and your mum's just sort of like doesn't care? Like that doesn't sound like something that would happen. It's yeah.
because it's kind of confusing because they have to portray her as antisocial with her daughter because she's acting strange and she's scared of what might happen.
Yeah.
But then she's also like not. She obviously doesn't know what's going on in the closet.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the fact that it just doesn't really.
Closet.
It doesn't. The thing is, the father thing feels like it doesn't even need to be in it.
Nah.
Because
it's such a
because the,
and then yeah, exactly. At the end of it, it just goes away. And it's
well,
just
well
like,
basically, what happens is that it's completely separate to everything else that's going on.
It's meant to like reconnect them at the end, right?
Yeah, and what happens is that the father's like, he comes to life out of the drawing. We don't see him, but we see his shadow, and then they sing a song and he goes
and
away.
They bond over the fact that they're both scared. You know, yeah, I get it, but you don't need that. Like, you could have just gone, things gone, Chloe's back, mum loves her child again,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Less of that tacky fucking, I'm coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking, what is that fucking little green thing from Sesame Street?
Oh, I can't remember the name. Wish Adam was here, he'd know.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the father thing, that's the weakest part. It just feels like I get the idea, I get what it's meant to do, but it just didn't, in execution, it didn't work for me. And the fact that they sing Kookaburra Love to make him go away is a bit...
Yeah, what a fucking random song choice.
Yeah.
Of all songs,
Very strange. And yeah, like you said, Trish was very not the best. I think she felt too serious. But then again, the kind of the point of that was that she was scared, but...
She just looked sketchy. Like, she looked shifty. Like, she knew what was up, but didn't know what was up. I thought she knew what was up the whole time, like, from the start. Like,
no. I think she knew that Chloe was doing it, but she was in denial.
Right.
That's the point the doctor was making. There was actually a scene that I quite liked when they were in the bedroom and Rose is telling her what she was doing. Rose was telling Trish what was happening, and Trish was basically denying it, and the doctor like looked at her and said, "No, you can explain what was happening." And it was very...
Yeah.
I found the doctor actually very captivating in that moment, because he's like, "No, you're denying what's in the corner of your eye."
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Trish was very...
Just meh.
Yeah.
I think it was a bad casting choice. Just like the actress wasn't very... She was a pretty bad actress. I don't know. I can't.
I mean,
I can't make
again,
those calls.
again, a lot of these cast members feel like they were just cast at the last second.
Yeah, and also I feel like it might be a directing thing. You know, like because I feel like a lot of the other actors, especially like the old lady, she was kind of funny. Like she was still comedic. The council worker, the dad, the fucking British dad.
Yeah.
Like he was funny because he was so typecasted, and it was like
He looks like... There's a rugby player called Martin Johnson who was the captain of England when they won the World Cup in 2003. He looks exactly like him. I'll find a picture. His face is the same.
But you get what I mean, like all those characters fit that sort of like either typecast or they were funny, but then Trish was just sort of like just felt wrong. I don't know.
Look at him. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Martin Johnson. But yeah, not the best.
Nah. Oh well. Any other characters?
Okay, let's go. I'm just going to pull up the notes again. So let's go to the side characters because there isn't really any main ones beyond that. So, the council worker,
Oh, he was crack up.
he was fucking
Great.
fantastic.
Great little comedic.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant acting. Well,
God, that moment when that woman was like, there's been people around you here lately. I'm like,
so
holy shit.
it's like,
Holy shit.
I mean, it's not funny because it's racism.
It's fucking horrible, but it's like...
But it's so funny because they did it so well, and where it's like you sided with the council worker immediately because you're like, holy shit, that's racist.
Yeah,
Like,
but like that scene could have easily been like a disaster and been in like the paper and been like, Doctor Who is racist.
I think I think like the tonality of it and like the way it was handled was absolutely comedically perfect.
Because it comes at the same time as the fingers on lips scene.
Yeah, but like it's not making fun of racism. It's making fun of like, no, it is making fun of racism.
Yeah. Like closet racism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like when things turn to shit, people panic and they say what they think without thinking about
exactly.
it, and it's like it just exposes this woman. He's like, "What the hell are you picking on me?"
I want an apology.
Yeah. It's a council axe with council van and council tarmac.
I love how he's like, oh, look at my craftsmanship. It's so funny.
I love the fact that the exact thing that Rose needs is within this thing he's done all day.
Yeah.
Perfectly level.
You could cook something on this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, nah, he was
What a
brilliant.
classic. And I love when he's moving the car at the start. She's like, "You need some help, mate." He's like, "No, I got it. I got it."
Fucking the old lady literally looked like a time traveler.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know what it was. I think I've watched this show called Dark recently. Well, actually I finished it a while ago. But it's this German show about time and like time traveling and shit. And there's always this old lady who is one of the characters in it, but she always just shows up and out of nowhere, and she looks sort of like that old lady, and I was like, oh, I just made that like instant connection. But yeah, she wasn't Jane McKillen.
Yeah,
after
well, she's
all.
very much the crazy old lady that's like the aliens.
Yeah.
And then the Martin
manly hand.
the Martin Johnson dad's like, "Oh, kids scurry about." I'm like, your kid's fucking missing. I love the scene when the doctor's like, he's checking it because obviously the kids disappear, but there's a bunch of like weird energy that's forming from it.
Yeah.
And he goes up to, he's like, and the dad's like, "Why the fuck are you standing on my lawn when my kids have just disappeared?" He's like, well, and he's trying to explain. It's
Yeah. Is there any other side characters?
yeah. I'm trying to think. There was Bob, the commentator that disappeared. He's like, even Bob's gone. What did he say?
Well, I guess we can talk about the flower being as a side character.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's more of a concept, isn't it?
Yeah. Does it have anything to do with the rift?
Did they say that it passed through the rift? I'm not sure. I think it maybe just traveled through space because I think they said that those things it's like
It's like a big flower.
like, you know, dandelions do that all the time on Earth. Like they travel countries.
Yeah.
There's an ad I used to saw on TV that was like that. This dandelion traveled through all these different countries.
Yeah.
I think it might be like a space dandelion,
Right.
where it travels to different planets.
Yeah.
And I think it just got. Didn't they say? I can't. The exposition was very like quiet, but. I think it might be like a space dandelion, where it travels to different planets. Yeah. And I think it just got. Didn't they say? I can't. The exposition was very like quiet, but. I think it might be like a space dandelion, where it travels to different planets. Yeah. And I think it just got. Didn't they say? I can't. The exposition was very like quiet, but. it like got lost from its like group or something.
Yeah.
And it like feeds off love or something. Yeah. It was very childish, but I think I don't know. I don't hate it. It's fine, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
Whatever.
like this is the thing with Fear here is like if I had no context of like what people thought of it,
Yeah.
I could easily criticize this episode and be like, this isn't very good. But the thing is, I have so many people over the years that have said this is the worst episode ever. I'm like willing to defend it now because it's like not. I don't think it's as bad as people say. You know what I mean?
I think the whole idea with the flower thing was like it was I think they were trying to be like look at what someone would do to other people for the power of love or some shit like that, but it just doesn't really hit that mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it like worst episode ever material though?
I don't know. I haven't seen all of the episodes.
Oh, true. But like,
Right now, it's like not one of the best, but
oh, of course not. But what I'm saying is like
it's not worse than Idiot's Lantern.
this concept doesn't come across to me as like the worst thing ever created in all of history. It
Look,
just feels...
I watched the episode without fucking going, this is terrible. So
You did say that once. You did say that once. You said it when the flower was released from her, and she's like, "Mummy."
Oh, okay. The fucking end was shit. When was I like, this is shit?
So she was drawing the earth, and then it like the flower came out of her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
that was
I think
terrible.
Rose threw the spaceship into
They
the torch.
threw away so much just like perfectly built up like funniness and like
Tension.
and not tension, but
Wow, mild tension.
just like off the cuff humor and like you know, like where it's like, oh, the adults will get this, but the kids won't really understand. But fucking, and then they just throw it away with this fucking happy garbage.
Yeah. Do you think this is an episode that should have ended with a pavement slab blowjob like last time?
No,
No. No.
I think it was definitely like they just were like, ah, fuck, we may as well just end it like this. Like, well, who gives a shit anymore?
I mean, again, it was an ending that reminds me of like children's cartoons.
yeah.
Which, you know, I don't particularly like, but
I would
don't...
say it was probably something to do with like BBC or the network or some shit. Was just probably like, yeah, like let's go back to normal here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, just to sort of sum up, I think there is truth in the sense that this episode is a little bit bad, but I don't think it's like the worst thing ever broadcast on TV, like people say it is.
Nah.
Like it's just a bit crap, you know. But it's fun. It's a bit of fun, you know.
I'm sure. I think this is one of those episodes where you need to go into it. Like, okay, I enjoy shit that makes me laugh. So every single time I watch Doctor Who, I'm kind of looking to laugh at least a few things. I'm not really looking to like be fucking emotionally moved by a story. Where I have at points been like, you know, there's been stories where it's been pretty.
I think you said "Girl in the Fireplace" was one.
Yeah, and fucking Father's Day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
stuff
obviously
like that.
Parting the Ways as well.
Yeah. But most of the time, I'm going in for a laugh. So like, if you serve me up something like this, it's like it's pretty funny. It's still entertaining, but it's I'm not gonna go back and watch this.
Oh no, I wouldn't say you should. But what I'm saying is that like it's not good. But I wouldn't say this is like absolute scourge.
But
you know?
but you know what? I think in a way, and I understand why people would rate it low, is because when you're rating something, you're thinking about the replayability of that episode.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely one you don't really... Unless you... The only thing you replay is the memes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, you would just take sections out and you would watch that section.
Yeah.
So, as I don't think it's a bad episode, I just don't think it's a rewatchable episode.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
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 Glad we're on the same page. Anyway. So... is there anything we want to discuss about this episode before we move on to the classic club?
Nah, I think we've
Yeah, there's not really much more to say. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. And we don't think it's as bad as some people say.
Yeah.
As bad as most people say, apparently. So the YouTube clip we're going to be watching is from the episode from Classic Who that is ranked below this one.
Oh yeah.
I thought that would be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
There isn't really anything that connects this to anything else. I was struggling. So I thought that considering that this is on the bottom of New Who's rankings on DWM,
Yeah.
I thought I would grab a clip from the one that's on the bottom of Classic Who's DWM.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a good idea.
Fair play.
This is from the 6th Doctor's first story,
Yeah.
and it is considered the worst Doctor Who story ever by a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say what it's called. I'll
Yeah.
let you experience it for yourself.
Ta-da!
Perry,
Yes?
how do you come by a name like that?
It's the diminutive of my proper name, Perpigillium.
Indeed.
What?
One
Pepper
more
Hooligan?
moment. Oh, so late. Who wrote that?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Of course you don't. You don't even know what a peery is, do you? Perry?
No.
The interesting thing is, before it became good, it was evil. And that's what you are. Thoroughly evil.
Doctor, stop it!
Sent here to spy on me. Of alien spy.
Jesus. What the fuck? The hell? It's turned into domestic abuse.
So, Sixth Doctor, probably the most infamous Doctor, and I think a lot of people would say the reason why is that scene.
Right.
Because in his very first episode, and I do slightly have a justification because he is obviously going through post-regeneration trauma,
Right.
but in his very first episode, he strangles his companion. Alien spy!
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This has no context to this episode.
I'm only using it because it's
Yeah.
it's the other
Worst one.
most unpopular episode. Yeah,
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
yeah. So
Well, there's no moments like that in Fear Her.
no, I
at
don't
least.
think the Doctor strangled Rose,
No.
did he?
No.
No.
But he did make her a bit worried.
Is that really comparable?
No. No.
There's a storm approaching, and it's you. I think it's very understandable why people will get the wrong, like they'll be rubbed the wrong way by that.
Yeah.
Like be like, who the fuck is this Doctor?
Very understandable.
Yeah, but I think it's unfortunate because I think for the rest of, like, apart from that weird thing, I think Colin Baker is a really good actor, and I really like the Sixth Doctor overall. I just think that his very first episode was a massive letdown,
Yeah.
which I think really damages his reign. Because
Yeah.
people, ever since it aired, people have always been like, he's the worst Doctor, he's the worst Doctor.
Yeah.
But I think it's, I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
Just to judge one person of one episode. Because honestly, if the only episode of David Tennant I'd seen was The Idiot's Lantern, he wouldn't be my favourite.
Yeah.
Because I don't like him in that.
Yeah.
And it's the same here. If that was the only Colin Baker clip I'd seen, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? But with context and with his entire run, I have a different point of view.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the clip.
Yeah.
Poor Perry. And she stayed with him after that.
Good on her.
Yeah. Anyway,
Pretty attractive.
yeah, John Nathan Turner, the showrunner, brought her on for the dads. He's gay as well, so he had to relate to something he doesn't.
I guess.
I don't know. Anyway, rest in peace, John Nathan Turner. Fear Her. This episode is infamously
Yeah.
disliked.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a tongue twister. There are some that defend it, especially kids, but it is generally regarded as a stinker. A Son Hart gave the episode a 5 out of 10 rating, calling it flat and formulaic, and everything about it was slightly underwhelming, though he thought what did work was the mother-daughter teamwork at the end. He also noted annoying self-aggrandizing moments that made no sense and served only to make the episode feel unnecessarily campy, such as the audience disappearing from the stadium and the Doctor carrying the torch. Oh, I thought that was fun, though.
I thought it was funny.
Comparing the episode to The Idiot's Lantern in terms of plot, he felt that the latter was far more entertaining and that Fair Hair lacked originality and humour.
Oh.
Well, we differ.
Well, you're a stupid critic.
Dave Bradley of SFX awarded Fair Hair 3 out of 5 stars, describing the plot as ordinary, but thought it was a decent breather before the grander adventures to come. He particularly praised the dialogue and thought the claustrophobic effect of limiting the action to one household works. Arnold T. Blumberg, writing for Now Playing, gave it a B+. He felt that the guest cast were only just adequate and that the story plods along in places, but the story worked because of the delightful interactions between the Doctor and Rose and the feel-good ending. In 2011, SFX published an article stating that its arguments for and against the episode. The defense stated that while some minor roles were played broadly, Nina Sanya and Abisola Abaje were extremely good, and opened that unusual things happened in a typical housing estate and the lack of appearance from a monster were effective. The prosecution, on the other hand, described it as cheap filler with a cheesy finale and called the lack of a monster a severe disappointment. So weirdly, the critics, when it came out, weren't as harsh on it as the fans are.
Yeah, I agree with that last one. I don't really care that there's no lack of a monster. It's filler and it has a cheesy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that is the episode.
So the writer was Matthew Graham. He is known for EastEnders, Biker Grove, This Life, The Last Train Spooks, Hustle, and he was the creator and showrunner for Life on Mars, which is quite a famous British show.
Yeah.
He won awards for his work and is generally regarded as a weak Doctor Who writer. So interestingly, outside of Doctor Who, he's actually done quite well.
Yeah.
But within Doctor Who, no.
Yeah.
This episode is probably the main reason why.
I agree.
Graham was happy with the episode himself and received letters from loads of kids who enjoyed it. When discovering that older fans had reacted negatively, he thought, well, it's a shame that they have, but it wasn't meant for them.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's fair, honestly. If you've made it for kids and kids liked it, then you've succeeded in my eyes.
Yeah.
Fear Her was an overcommissioned episode which replaced a planned unproduced skit by Stephen Fry. Matthew Graham was told by Russell T Davies that it was going to be an inexpensive episode and had to take place on a housing estate, but Graham was nevertheless thrilled to be asked to write an episode. Graham stated in 2011 that they set out to do the right from the start, making the episode aim for more children rather than adults and older Doctor Who fans. Davies specifically asked Graham to write for his 7-year-old son. He said, write as if your 7-year-old son was watching.
Yep.
And Matthew Graham, in terms of Doctor Who, it's a while before he writes another story, but he does write again.
Oh, yeah.
The director, Euros Lyn, who's been doing a lot of them, he's a regular around here. The low budget really hurt any chance Euros had of polishing the direction. Because previous ones he did The End of the World, The Unquite Dead, Tooth and Claw, Girl in the Fireplace, and Idiot's Lantern he did as well.
Big budgies.
Not Idiot's Lantern, that wasn't.
Yeah, true.
But Tooth and Claw, was beautiful. It looked gorgeous. But I think that there is something to be said about how limited the direction is. And I think you mentioned the colour grading. I think the reason why they did that with the colour grading is, one, it's an episode focused around drawings.
Yeah.
Which is lots of colours. But also I think because I imagine the raw shots look so dull, they tried to add some life to it.
Yeah.
And I think it explains why Rose's shirt looks so ridiculously yellow.
It's just very saturated, yeah.
Yeah, it's very saturated. But whilst I don't particularly find that style aesthetically pleasing,
yeah,
I think it works for children's TV.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I like, it was all good. There was that shot of her on the bed.
Yeah.
And the blacks were so lifted that it just looked like an Instagram filter. But I don't know. Overall, it was alright.
Considering how cheap it was.
There's been worse colour.
Considering it was literally filmed in a street, one street, I think they did okay.
I think, what was it? There's been ones that with worse colour grading, I would say.
Yeah.
I can't remember what, but
I mean, I don't remember. Idiot's Lantern had a good like.
It's such
cut,
a it's such a minor fucking detail anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I thought that considering that, I mean, it kind of looked like it was like if Coronation Street had more saturation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Coronation Street was made for children, that's very weird
Yeah.
to think about. But it's kind of what this episode was.
Yeah.
Which may be part of the disconnect, is the sense that it mixes two things that don't mesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought the direction was extremely standard, and that's exactly what it meant, was kind of had to be, considering the budget and what they had available.
Yeah.
It's nothing spectacular, but
Yeah.
did the job.
Yeah.
It is a little, I would say that because of how cheap it is, there is a bit of a slog during the middle section.
Yeah.
It is a little bit like during the exposition scenes, a lot of the direction feels a bit stale, but it's not terrible. It's not.
The animation of the Scribble monster was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention the Scribble monster.
Yeah.
That's another meme from this episode.
Yeah.
The Scribble monster. The Scribble monster's great. But anything else you really want to say about the writing or direction?
Nah. I guess direction was like, I think it was smart to let the acting just to be more to be more fluid between Rose and the Doctor.
Yeah.
And like and the side characters as well, you know, like just to let them riff off each other.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like that.
We also got a very unique shot on this as well, from inside the TARDIS. There was a shot of the Doctor and Rose, and it had the TARDIS doors on the far side. I don't think we've ever gotten that.
Oh, right.
It was very unique.
And that Dutch angle was cool as well. That was a well done Dutch angle.
This to me feels like it's like if a bunch of actual professionals came to South Seas and used our equipment.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how film noir became a thing, you know, like it's like a B-side.
And like you said, with the Venetian blinds,
Yeah.
there was a lot of film noir in it, which is odd considering the
I just
episode.
remember Mr. Ephraim being like, "Look at the blinds.
Oh god,
Look at the blinds."
I know. What was his favorite film? It's called like Pi, and it's completely, you can't even see it.
Yeah.
It's so film noir.
Yeah.
It's like grainy as hell.
Yep. Makes
Almost
sense.
impossible to watch. And you're like, look, you're trying to listen to what they're saying. It's like, you will like this cigarette with me.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all very basic, wasn't it? The direction.
Pretty much.
Murray Gold really didn't do much here. It was more recycled tracks.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
In terms of music, the only thing that was really
that fucking end music was so cheesy. I hated it.
But in terms of like musically, the only thing that was prominent was obviously the Kookaburra love song that they used. It was a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
But the track I'm going to showcase, I've chosen one from End of the World because when we started doing these tracks of the week after that. We did it like during the Slitheen episodes.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be a good idea for me to showcase that End of the World track now.
Okay.
Considering this is one that doesn't really need one to showcase.
Okay.
So jump back in time to episode 2 of series 1.
Yeah.
This track is called Cassandra's Waltz.
That's over a year ago, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is Cassandra's Waltz, obviously the Skin Lady.
Yep.
So this is her theme from End of the World.
I make my own music, Murray Gold, you fucking twat. That's pretty creative to put a fucking waltz, to do a 2-step waltz with some fucking... You're like, dun, 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 dun.
As you can tell, I've binged these soundtracks over and over the years.
Is there like bubbly water and stuff as well? Yeah.
Because obviously Cassandra's like
Yeah.
got like her organs and
Yeah.
bottles.
So steamy.
You're just a bitchy trampoline.
It's like a haunted house song almost as well. Is this even 2-step? I don't even know. 2.
It's weird, he's used sound effects from like the Daleks theme.
Yeah.
This is such a weird song. It's so different to anything else I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's a mix of genres you wouldn't expect.
It works though.
It's meant to make you feel uneasy, which is how Rose was feeling in that episode. Here we go. Also, all done on his computer.
Was it?
This was sampled, so
wow.
so no orchestra or anything. Series 1 music. He's a bit of a genius, isn't he?
Kind of like a song from The Incredibles or something as well.
Yeah. Murray Gold's a bit of a genius, isn't he?
He's quite a genius. that was just cool to listen to, you know.
Yeah.
Like it also brought me back to that episode and
Yeah.
you know thoughts of it. Yeah.
Moisturise me.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. Okay. Is it time for... Oh, you got me early. Working titles included Chloe Webber Destroys the Earth, You're a Bad Girl, Chloe Webber. Those are two. Fear Her sounds better.
Yeah.
The Doctor previously had a foreboding sensation in his hands during his first incarnation in the War Machines.
Right.
The Doctor comments that he used to be a dad once.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big moment. I feel like that was a Russell line. It has to be.
Yeah.
A showrunner's little edit.
Yeah.
Ooh, add this little bit in here. This episode takes place in summer, but was actually filmed in January, which is winter and...
Yeah, because you can see their breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concerns over the fact that the actor's breath was sometimes visible, most notably in the scene where the neighbours are yelling at each other in the middle of the street, prompted the inclusion of the Doctor's line at the beginning referencing cold and wondering if someone was sucking the heat out.
Ah.
There's a little detail in there, but I like the fact that because all these children are missing, like the neighbours think that each other's kidnapping each other's children.
Yeah.
Like it's a little thing in the background.
Yeah.
But you could actually make something pretty intense out of that.
Yeah.
Matthew Graham originally pitched a storyline in which the Doctor and Rose are faced with a man who has discovered how to drain things of their beauty, leaving his planet in a sterile grey landscape.
Oh.
Viewership, 7.1 million. So up from... I can't remember what 11 Monsters was, but Satan Pit was the lowest, I think.
Like 7 or something, wasn't it?
Satan Pit was the lowest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's up slightly.
Yeah. That's more than our population.
Yeah. A lot of people experience the Scribble Monster.
It's like if every single person plus 0.5 of the country watched this.
Yeah, it's the power of this show. Alright, give your conclusion and a rating out of 10 for Fear Her.
Conclusion. Yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's good. It's not good. It's watchable. And I think there's redeeming moments, there's funny moments, there's terrible moments, and there's also there's not, it doesn't look good, it doesn't really there's no like good music or anything in it. It's just you just watch it and then you forget about it. And I think the main thing is the torch thing. That was funny. For me, my favorite part was the council van and pickaxe and all that. That is the one thing that I think made the episode for me. So in conclusion, it's like a 4 out of 10 for me. Yeah, it was alright. I didn't hate watching it, but I didn't particularly want to watch it again. Yeah.
Alright, so Fear Her, infamous, but I don't know. It's just it's a bit of cheap fun. The plot's kind of bad. It's not terrible, but it's really childish, and I don't like how it ends. But I think there are redeeming qualities to it. It's harmless. There's some nice comedic moments. I really like the Doctor and Rose in it, even though they're not particularly deep. They're very surface level. I really like them together. I think their dynamic works here much better than something like Idiot's Lantern, where it feels forced. I genuinely believe them as like a pairing in this compared to that.
Yeah.
Because that felt just silly. And it's very meme-worthy. The council guy, the fingers on lips, the doctor on cocaine contained within a very restricted performance, yet his eyes are on fire. Yeah, Chloe Webber shit, that's whatever. But I really like the concept of the drawings. I think it's actually quite cool. The execution's a bit off, especially with the father thing, but I do... especially as a kid, I really liked the fact that there was this thing of you draw someone and they get trapped in it. I think that's actually quite a neat concept. And yeah, I don't know. It's not the worst episode ever, in my opinion. I think it's mediocre and it's a little bit funny and a little bit bad, but it's not like shit. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna give it a 5. I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's
I think 5
Whatever.
is pretty decent.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's higher than what I would have given it before today.
Yeah.
So there. Fear Her, not terrible.
Hot take.
Hot
Fear
take.
Her, not bad.
Yeah. The last 2 reviews, Fear Her and Love and Monsters, we've not shit on them.
Yeah.
In fact, in Love and Monsters, I kissed its ass because I love it. So let's have a look. Are you disappointed that we didn't get Stephen Fry's episode instead?
Nah.
You're not?
Nah.
Okay.
There's still moments I like, so yeah. Nah.
So what would you like to see next time?
I think I know what episode is next.
What is it?
Is it? No, Blink's not next.
No.
Midnight's the last episode. No, Midnight's next.
No.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what I want next.
What makes you think that those episodes are next?
Are they not in this season?
Well, what makes you think they are?
Because this is episode 10, right?
This is episode 11, I think.
Yeah, so it's just 12 and 13 left.
Yeah.
So they're going to be somewhere.
Do they have to be here?
Oh, I think in series 3. I can't remember.
I mean, they might be next, but I'm just asking you. I'm like trying to figure out why you think they are.
Because I haven't seen them in the series yet, but I have watched them before. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Midnight's the last episode.
All right.
Anyway,
But what do you want next time?
Yeah, I guess something a bit deeper. You know, something like
We've had 2 like fluffy episodes in a row.
Let's continue some plot lines and some
something a
arcs.
bit more major. I think it's time.
Yeah,
Time for something a bit more like
and
significant.
we're gonna get that, right?
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
You know, 3 fucking pulp in a row.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope you do get it when we watch the next episode, which is Army of Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
Does that sound interesting? Army of Ghosts?
Yeah. So
Do you like ghosts?
I'm a love myself a ghost.
So anything else you want to say before we finish this one?
Oh, let's finish it.
All right, we'll see you. If you're watching on the calendar, we will see you tomorrow for day 29 of the calendar. And if you're watching this week by week, we'll see you next week for Army of Ghosts.
Yes. Bye bye.